Boom, you're born in ancient Egypt, not in a palace, not surrounded by gold, not even on a bed. No, you're born in a mud brick hut on a dirt floor covered in flies before you can even open your eyes. Welcome to the 99%, the peasants, working harder than slaves and worth less than the sacred cats. Your odds of dying before the age of 5, sky high. Fever, dysentery, or just mysteriously stopping one day. And if you get sick, don't worry. Egyptian medicine has you covered with crocodile poop, magic amulets, and a whole lot of hope this works. This is your life in ancient Egypt, 3,500 years ago, and trust me, it's about to suck. You'd think being born in the land of pyramids would come with a little more glamour. No, you're in a village no one will ever write about, somewhere along the banks of the Nile. Your mother is exhausted, your father worried. Right now, your biggest challenge is not dying before the age of 5. Being human in ancient Egypt sounds amazing. Pyramids, pharaohs, sacred cats. Until you remember that if you had been born there, you had a 99% chance of being a peasant who worked harder than slaves and earned less than cats. Your mother feeds you when she can, but she's also hauling water, grinding grain, and making sure your older siblings don't burn down the house. You spend most of your time crawling half naked, eating bugs and roasting under the sun like a tiny raisin. Adolescence, congrats, you're an adult. 13 years old, puberty, barely noticeable. You're now considered an adult. You marry young, very young, possibly someone you met yesterday, possibly your cousin. You probably work in agriculture. That means plowing fields with oxen, planting seeds by hand, getting yelled at by tax collectors demanding grain for the pharaoh's silos. Don't pay, they can beat you, throw you in jail, or draft you to haul stones for yet another glorious funerary complex. And if you're unlucky, you get recruited for a construction project. You've heard the rumors. Scorching sun, collapsing scaffolds, backbreaking labor. The overseers carry whips and care more about quotas than about your spine. Welcome to your office, buddy. Climate, 40 degrees in the shade if you find any. Hours, from the moment you see the sun until you stop seeing it. Job benefits. They let you live, sometimes. Your life depended on the Nile. If it overflowed, a little, famine. If it didn't, more famine. If it overflowed too much, well, you learned to swim with a cow. Summer is fire, insects, and boils. Autumn brings the tax collector. Every year someone dies. Sometimes it's a baby. Sometimes it's your buddy who drank bad beer. Sometimes it's your neighbor, bitten by a hippo. Yes, hippos kill people here. All the time. Oh, and everything you grew was not yours. It belonged to the pharaoh, the priests, the temple, Ra's cat. You were just the delivery guy. No tip. Religion is everywhere. You can't escape it. Literally every moment of your life is ruled by the gods. Sneeze, that's a divine warning. Stub your toe? Punishment for a sin you probably committed in a past life. Bad harvests, definitely your fault, or your neighbor's, or both. There's a priest for every problem. Sickness, crops, childbirth, bad dreams. They've got amulets, papyri, and sometimes literally crocodiles in the temple pool. They scare you more than the wolves in the hills. Also, you can't read. Only scribes can do that. And to become one, your family would need money. You don't have money. You have goats, and one of them limps. And if you were lucky, spoiler, you weren't. They sent you to build pyramids with blocks heavier than your generational trauma, with tools that looked like they came out of a cereal box. Adulthood, responsibility, and decay. You're married, you have kids. At least 3, maybe 5. You love them, sure, but they're loud and 2 of them keep getting eye infection. You've gotten good at farming. Your hands are calloused, your back hurts, and your hair is falling out. You're 28, but you look 48. Now you're deep into rituals. You pray daily. You leave breadcrumbs on the altar. Once you gave your only chicken to a priest after your son survived a fever. The priest ate the chicken. Still, you feel proud. You know your role. You work, you sacrifice, you follow the rules. Maybe one day you can afford a shabti, a funerary figurine, to help you work in the afterlife too. Because yes, even death is work. And let's not forget the tax collector, the most hated guy in Egypt. He showed up every week with a list, and you had to pay even if you didn't own sandals. The pharaoh, living his best life. You, harvesting, sweating, building. Also, His Majesty could wear more jewels than a drag queen in Las Vegas. Old age, you're not done yet. You've reached 40. A rare achievement. You've survived plagues, famines, and a sandstorm that leveled half your village. But now everything hurts. You can barely chew, your teeth are worn down to tiny stubs, your knees ache, your eyesight clouds, and there's a weird lump on your back. There are no doctors, just a priest who says it's because you angered Sobek, the crocodile god. You offer incense. Nothing changes. You've seen younger men take over the fields. You try to teach them things, but they say you're old and superstitious. They're not wrong. But don't worry, desert friend. One day your pyramids would become World Heritage Sites, though you didn't even leave a name. Death not the end, you think one morning. You don't wake up, and so it begins. The application process for the afterlife. Unlike modern funerals, your soul now enters a bureaucratic maze of judgment. Your heart is weighed on the scales of Mot, too heavy with sin. A monster with the head of a crocodile, body of a lion, and back legs of a hippo devours your soul. You never make it to the cool stuff, like the eternal fields of reeds or sailing with Ra, because your family couldn't afford proper funeral rites. No mummy, you tomb. Just a shallow pit and a rushed spell that might have been for a toothache instead of passage to the afterlife. Your body decomposes. Your name is forgotten in 2 generations. Your soul? Wandering. Maybe. Who knows? But hey, there were some good things before you died. You danced at the festival of Bastet. You drank beer with your friends and gazed at the stars, wondering what they were made of. You saw the Nile rise and felt relief. Every time, you held your child's hand as they took their first steps. You laughed at a joke someone scratched on a wall. You saw a scribe write your name once, and it made you feel immortal if only for a second. So yeah, why did it suck? Because it was painful, unfair, harsh, brutal, and short. And yet, you kept going. You believed in something. You left stories behind, not in papyri, but in memories, bones, and broken amulets buried in the earth. So yeah, being born human in ancient Egypt, pretty rough. Too much sand, too many gods, not enough dental care. Let's not even start on the beer. But hey, you outlived the average pyramid scheme. If you enjoyed crawling through 3,000 years of sand, suffering, and sacred scarabs, hit like and subscribe for more of why it sucks to be born as content. And remember, if anyone ever tells you that you were born in the wrong era, just nod. And imagine chewing gritty bread without a toilet. And that's why being a peasant in ancient Egypt sucked.